It's the Preppy Crafty Girl, and this is Jonna for a journal with me in my fall traveler's notebook. So I'm taking the insert out. I like to work in my inserts out of my notebook, and I am just trying to find a page I feel like is going to be appropriate. I want to incorporate some of those vintage ads that I pulled out of a Good Housekeeping magazine. So I think I'm just going to cut out the scissors on that page. Yeah, I discovered my love of vintage office supplies through actually my sister noticing that I had quite a collection going. And I've been doing this probably since I was a teenager, and I found a vintage black stapler. That was the beginning of my love for staplers, and then I just started collecting them and over the years, and then it just kept growing, and I was just picking up metal file boxes, tape dispensers, Dymo labelers, and one day about 15 years ago my sister came over and she's like, do you know you have a big collection of office supplies? You have a thing for office supplies? And I was like, no, I never noticed. I guess because we go thrifting a lot together, and she just noticed what I was buying, and I'd buy clipboards. And so I decided I was going to do a page when I saw the pencil ad in the side of the Good Housekeeping magazine. So I just kind of cut those out, and they've been sitting in a box for quite some time. So I thought I would go ahead and journal my love of office supplies. um, Kind of using some vintage graph paper, and I have some old notebook paper. Now, I don't tea stain or coffee dye anything. I just try to find things with a natural patina. Um, and I found at a thrift store some Denizen stickers for VHS video cassette tapes. And I decided that it just kind of fell off the packaging actually. And I thought, oh, I'm going to go ahead and do that page on office supplies. So I'm adding that in. I'm just kind of auditioning where I want to place the things as far as collaging it down on the page. I have a book page out of, I think it was some children's book or something, but what caught my eye was it said in quotations, there's a first for everything. And so that just kind of prompted my journaling. And so I'm cutting out that little quote, and I'm going to use that quote on the page. So I love using vintage papers and ephemeras because of the patinas, of the wear and the age of the pages, and it just adds a nice neutral uh, variety and backdrop. And it's actually making that green label just pop off the page, so I'm kind of loving it. And that the fact that there is yellow, that yellow sticker and some yellow wording on that Denizen label is pulling the yellow out of the pencil, so I'm really liking that. I did notice that the pencil was longer than my notebook, so I had to cut it, and then I just decided I was going to use it as a border on my page. I am using some Oohoo glue stick. It's one of my favorites for holding up anything, fabric, paper, and right now is a good time to pick up some because there's sales on school supplies. So placing down this label, and when I started to glue the label down, I noticed that there was Framingham, Massachusetts on there. And that's where I was born. So I was like shocked. I mean, Framingham, Massachusetts, back when I was born, was just a tiny little town that had a hospital. And we used to live in Sharon, Mass, which is next door. But I was born at the hospital in Framingham. And I mean, I was just shocked. And I'm thinking to myself, no wonder why I love office supplies. That was where my birthplace was where Dennison factory is. I had no idea. So that's kind of cool. So here I am using that pencil as a border. And I'm going to adhere down the little ad for the scissors. I really enjoy just the standard traveler notebook size. It's really quick and easy. It's just quick to journal, your thoughts down, and I just get a page completed really quickly, which is nice. And I can just take the whole notebook and throw it in my bag with a glue stick and a little baggie of, cutouts and scrap papers and things like that. And I can just get my thoughts down really quickly. I really have been enjoying that size. I was in a passport size, but now I just use my passport size TN as my runner. So, like a day runner. So I just keep my to-dos and most important kind of like jot lists down and things like that. So I use a passport size actually in my bag, my purse. But this is my everyday, just journal my day size, which is the standard. I do have a couple of wides. Okay, so I'm going to use this Dymo, and then I noticed that the little peg was coming out, which messed up my letter. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this because I don't think you want to sit here and watch me. So I punched out I love vintage office supplies and now I am cutting it, taking off the backing and kind of cutting it up in parts and placing it on the page. I have a whole box of, I found at a estate sale, a whole box of wood grain Dymo label reels, and I also found orange and avocado green, and I'm just like all about those colors. My whole craft room is orange, avocado green, yellow, and like mustardy yellow, and I don't know, I guess it just goes back to my childhood, and so I tend to use those colors quite often. Just sticking it down. They're old labels, and I was afraid that if I just stuck the label down without putting glue, adhering some glue on there, that they weren't going to stay and stick, and I didn't want to lose, any of the words. So I just took the glue stick and ran it behind just to be on the safe side. So I want to apologize for hearing of the air conditioner when I do these videos. I've been trying to do some overlay because of where I'm staying. There's a lot of noise, and so I've been having to do voiceovers over my videos. I won't always have to do it. This is a temporary situation, and so I will be adding some music behind, but just so that it kind of covers that sound of the air conditioner or people in the hallway. So I'm taking this Lyra 6B water-soluble charcoal crayon and just kind of outlining where I'm going to be journaling, and now I'm going to quickly fast forward through my journaling. Using the water-soluble charcoal again, and I'm outlining the book text, and then I'm going to underline the Framingham, Massachusetts, and draw an arrow down. And I'd just like to say thank you for joining me for this journal with me in my Fall Traveler's Notebook. I look forward to you joining me again in future videos. And if you could, just leave me a comment below. You might want to give a suggestion of something you might want to see. And also, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you around.